Tiki's Playhouse started 16 years ago now, and it started as a doggy daycare boarding facility. And we also did dog walking and pet sitting and taxi services. So we managed to do that up until the pandemic. And once the pandemic hit, then we kind of pivoted a little bit and stopped doing the stopped doing dog walking and pet sitting for obvious reasons. We stopped doing taxi service for, again, obvious reasons. And we kind of just started doing daycare, or not started, continued doing daycare and boarding. And that's kind of where Tiki's Playhouse came from. It evolved into Tiki's Playhouse and K9 and Coffee. So they're both located in the same building. The coffee shop's on the right side of the building, or depending on how you're looking at it, the left or the right side of the building. And Tiki's Playhouse is divided by a door that separates the building. So they're both in the same building. And so we figured coffee, because coffee is don't know where it is now, the number 2 traded commodity on the stock market next to oil. And at that time, dog business was a $56 billion industry. I'm sure it's probably 58, 59 now. Wow. And so I just kind of 2 and 2. I said, hey, coffee's number 2, dog business is $56 billion industry, put them together. And that's kind of where we came up with K9 and Coffee. And Tiki's Playhouse. Yes. And then so a year and a half ago, again, another pivot. So a year and a half ago, things were kind of slow. And someone approached me about putting a food truck on my property and then suggested that I get a liquor license. And it took some convincing because, getting a liquor license is no easy task, let me tell you. And it's very costly. And so finally, after a couple of months of convincing me, I decided to get my liquor license. And I've built a nice little bourbon bar here. So I like to call it my bourbon bar. So I have 95 different bourbons. We also have Uncle Nearest, which is a very, very good whiskey. It sounds like you know exactly Uncle Nearest.
A lot of history, a lot of history.
A lot of history. In fact, I was down in Tennessee 3 weeks ago and met the owner, Keith Weaver.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. And Uncle Nearest Distillery was a beautiful visit. Let me tell you, it's a beautiful visit. So, yes, so I feature Uncle Nearest here. I have a whole bunch of Uncle Nearest alcohol here. And I do I do vodka, tequila. We're kind of like an old school speakeasy, is like I like to tell people.